Hello. Today we will be talking about the politics of the Gilded Age. Politics during the Gilded Age can be summed up with really one word: corruption. Corruption is rampant during these times. You can find it in pretty much every different part of the government. In fact, the corruption during this time starts all the way at the top. The presidents during this time are known as the forgettable presidents. They're not really doing too much. And in fact, the people really running the show during this time is Congress. However, Congress itself is very much influenced by our big business owners, our monopolists that we've discussed. So, really, anything those big business owners wanted, they could persuade the politicians to do. So that could mean passing new laws. That could even mean the government paying businesses for things like building railroads. It also includes things like the government placing a higher tax on certain products, especially products from other companies or companies outside of the United States. So the politicians didn't really get to, work for the people who got them into office. They were working more for those big business owners. They also very frequently would put the friends of the big business owners in positions of power. So you can tell that these presidential administrations and Congress are overrun with a lot of corruption. And in fact, this time is known for a lot of scandals that took place with politics and finding out about this connection between our businesses and our politicians. Now, corruption wasn't just happening at the national level with presidents and Congress. It trickled down all the way to the city level, which is the local government as close to us as we can get. So people running the cities have a lot going on. You probably might have noticed that from some of the issues happening in the cities that we've discussed. But there are a lot of problems. These people are literally and figuratively putting out fires everywhere they go. Because these people are so distracted, it's going to make it very easy for other groups to spring up to take political power. And those groups are known as political machines. They quite frankly are a machine. They come up with all of these ideas. There's so many people working together to get things done. But again, they're still corrupt. The political machines are run by political bosses. So that's the person in charge. We would normally call the person in charge a boss. The most famous of these is William Boss Tweed, who, Boss, by the way, was more of the nickname. So people would just call him Boss Tweed. He was the political boss in New York City over a political machine known as Tammany Hall. So this was one of the biggest and most famous political machines during the Gilded Age. The political machine got their power by doing favors to gain votes. So this relied very heavily on people being willing to accept whatever they are being given or whatever they need from the political machine, and in exchange, voting for them. This was especially done with immigrants who were literally fresh off the boat being stopped by political machine workers who would help them get jobs and houses and that kind of stuff that, these people who have been in America for 5 minutes really need. And in exchange, when those people were able to vote, they would vote for the political machine. Voting is not at all honest during this time. There are quite a few records of people voting more than once, of gentlemen who would vote in the morning, go to the barber, have, hair trimmed and a beard shaved off, and then returning to the polls in the afternoon using a different name and being able to vote. So there's quite a lot of that happening, which, again, is one of the reasons why the political machine is able to stay in power. The last thing we need to talk about is patronage and the spoil system. Both of these are systems that people are using politically, where basically, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So if you do me a favor, I'm going to do a favor back. So elected officials will use this very frequently to give either their friends or people who helped them get to their position another position of power. Okay, so if I'm running for office and someone helps me get a lot of votes, then I'm going to reward that person by giving them a job in my, in my city if I was elected the mayor or something like that. So that leads to a lot of people in these positions, and that doesn't always mean that that person is the most qualified to have that job. And that is one of the issues that people are soon going to have with this system. And as you can see, there's kind of a lot of very sketchy stuff going on that we'll soon start to realize.